Emmeline. So I'm from Singapore. So I've been in the real estate industry for about 15 years. And I've been learning AI from BK for about a year plus.
Okay, Kailut.
Well, I'm in the theater business. I'm the artistic director of Dharma Asia. That's about it. I'm started to get acquainted with AI probably, you say, a month or two ago. So struggling along the way, but happy to be in this program.
Nice. Yeah, we have a few more people intro to keep it going while we wait for the rest to come. Okay, Ayat.
I'm in the training and consultancy space. I basically do visual thinking, drawing pictures to solve complex problems or helping organizations and individuals pivot. So that's my background. I started AI journey since April 26, so exactly about 120 days now. I have been using Claude quite a lot, but probably very fundamental, elementary level. And of course, a lot of people are talking about code and multiple use of it. And so I'm very, very keen and very excited about today's session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ayat. Ayat is also from Malaysia, your Malaysian counterpart.
Yeah. Awesome. Hi.
Clarence.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Clarence. So my background is I'm basically a digital designer. So actually, I'm currently working in a digital ads company, and one of my KPI is actually to learn Claude and AI automation process. That's why I'm here today, to learn more and to impress my boss, basically. Thank you.
So Kanji, we have people coming here with KPI. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. That's good. That means the pressure's on.
Okay. Let's pick another two more person to introduce before we head on, so we won't hold everybody.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, I'm Sok Eng. So I'm doing mainly AI image and video generation.
Yeah, thank you. So Sok Eng has amazing productions of AI video content. Hollywood grade, I would say.
Oh yes. Okay. Maybe I can give her a prompt that I've been trying to fix last night. So.
Oh, sometimes you have to fix it post. Let's say you go and flip the video. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have one more person. Ima, are you there? Not sure Ima is coming.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Hema Malini. I got to know BK from Image Mission, and it's 142 days now. I would like to build my career through AI, and very keen about this class today. Thank you.
Thank you. So Amma has been amazing also. She started with really zero, and she's not been working because of being a housewife. So through some community, I got to know her. And 2 days ago, she started training her own community. So that, we will leave more time for later for intro if anybody wants. I will not hold back. I'm going to start a quick introductions. Of course, being an AI, I will not do the talking. Let the AI do the talking. Okay, just hang on.
Welcome to our video on transforming your business with AI. Today we're exploring how to move beyond basic automation and build powerful operating systems for your company. We are teaching something that most AI gurus won't touch. It's time to go deeper. Please welcome our guest speaker, Kanji Low. Kanji is a TEDx speaker, the founder of Synapze AI, and recognized as a top AI educator. Welcome everyone. Today is all about making a massive mindset shift. As Kanji points out, many people treat AI like a simple copy-paste tool, which leads to frustration. Today, we are changing that approach entirely. We are here to help you move past simple prompting and start building real AI operating systems that think, remember, and execute. Joining me to lead this framework is Kanji Low. Beyond his AI expertise, Kanji spent 13 years at IBM, transforming how businesses adopt enterprise technology. Kanji has helped over 200,000 businesses scale with intelligent automation. Let's get started building your AIOS today. To stay updated and join the movement, you can subscribe to our channel on YouTube and join our community on School using the links provided. The future belongs to those who build systems.
So it was a last minute thing. I just did it like 3 minutes ago, so a bit messy. I hope it works. So save me a lot of time on introducing that long profile of Kanji. Okay, it's much longer. If I were to talk, probably take half an hour to finish. So I want to give him more time. He's a new friend to me, but we are like old friends because of AI. Fortunately and unfortunately, we sort of cover different arena of AI, so that we can collaborate. So I don't cover Claude. Okay, not that I'm not a fan of Claude. So thanks to him that he's been doing a lot of work on Claude, so I do not need to duplicate his work. So we sort of collaborate, and it'll be a series. This is first of the series. There'll be another one near the end of the month, and then moving forward, we may do some really physical groundwork in Singapore and Malaysia and maybe Thailand. This is how it's here because the speed of AI is so fast. So, and he can tap on my focus on the ecosystem of Google and the other area. So I will move more to educator than the so-called building ecosystem. And Kanji has been doing ecosystem. He's been traveling and he's much younger than me. So I guess he can cover more, more hours than me. Okay. So without further ado, shall I invite Kanji to, he's got like 30, 40 minutes. So squeeze everything out of him. And then we have the Q&A in the end. How's that? Yeah, he's 2 hours ahead of us in Singapore. So yeah, Kanji.
Yeah.
Off to you.
Yeah, thank you, BK. Thank you for having me, and thank you everyone for joining today. It's a real pleasure to get at least some of your time today to learn about AI, and it's really amazing because when you really look at how, like BK said, things are moving so quickly with AI, like spending time out of your day to learn about this so they can help your life, help the people around you. It's something that's you should treasure. All right, so I'm going to, without further ado, I'm going to share my screen, then we'll go from there. So I do have some slides. Just go to the slides, just go to slideshow. Then, right. Look at us two handsome guys over there on the right. So welcome to Beyond the Chatbot. So maybe just type in the chat, like how many of you are using Claude right now, but you're kind of like, it's just like a chatbot to me. Like, I don't know what else to do. Like, just type in the chat, Claude, if you're actually one of them, if you're actually doing that. So type in the chat. So if you're just using Claude for the kind of thing, Claude is chatbot, yeah, just Claude. Just type in Claude. Yeah. Or even if you don't know about it, if you don't know about Claude, just even type Claude. But some people like ChatGPT a little bit more. So, okay, to revise drafts, yeah. So, yeah, Lynette, it is very good in writing. Claude skills. Okay, so Clarence, you've got some Claude skills. Amazing. Yeah, so we tend to look at all these different AI models as just like chatbots, or because we don't know or we don't have the awareness of what it actually does. Right. Okay. So start projects and skills. Amazing. Cool. We'll cover some of that today. So I don't need to introduce myself. I think BK's already done that. Yeah, I am the founder and CEO of Synapze AI. So my work has been around building AI OSs and AI ecosystems for businesses. I do a lot of keynote speaking as well across Asia and Australia, but my main focus is to enable businesses to really scale what they're currently doing, get rid of the admin, do what they do for fun, which is, talking and growing their business. So that's something that I've really been passionate about because I've always been behind the tech as well as behind the businesses for a very long time. I find that when you can really use AIs like with any technology as a tool, you can scale anything. All right. So first things first. So there'll be 3 takeaways. So first is your project context vault. So we'll build a native Claude project for you. I'll be using the CLI command terminal called VS Code. I'll show you how to download that and all that. Pretty much what it is your project. And in your project would be your business. In that business, you'd have certain core frameworks, market data, context. So pretty much what context is what you put into the AI. So what you put in is what you get out. So the more that you put into AI that is relevant to your brand, the more that you get the output of the skills, the templates, the presentations, everything, right? The writing style, it not sounding like AI, saying not just, things like that. And the second part is the SolMD. So the SolMD is just basically to do with everything about your brand. It's like who you are, what you stand for, what your brand values are, everything that creates you, even your business. So for example, your business will have a SolMD, you will have a SolMD. Claude, when you give Claude the soul, it doesn't give you, just generic robotic AI fluff or slop, as they call it. It actually is trained on your voice. So you can start doing it that way. And then the next thing is Claude Code Utility. So giving Claude it can start creating prompts, it can start executing scripts, it can start using the skills that it has, profile generator, or pretty much just like a LinkedIn skill that I have, which posts for me on LinkedIn. It does like cool graphics and stuff. So I'll give you a bit of a demo of that as a skill that I have and how to create these skills. So the problem with every session with Claude and even with ChatGPT is that when you open a blank chat, you start from zero again, right? Especially when you haven't tied Claude in your terminal or you're running Codex in your terminal, every time you have to start from zero. So what the SolMD and what your project folder does, it allows you to to have everything there so you don't have to re-explain everything, right? So for example, you have to keep saying, oh, we're a boutique firm, etc., etc. You got generic output that comes off with the M dashes, with everything. It's off brand. It feels useless. And we always have to tend to repair it. So every time we'll edit, we have to go, yes, 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 click yes. And then you have to repair it again. And a lot of the time, the context is lost. So it's not about finding a better prompt because the days of prompts are gone. It's all about loops and it's all about better architecture. Okay. So the operational engine, which I would say with anything, is covering these 3 steps. So first you have your context vault, right? You have everything, like I said, business IP, frameworks, offers, brands, SOPs, constraints. That's what your business knows. Okay, that's the main fundamental thing. Next thing after that is the soul. So how you communicate it with it, how you think, your voice, your beliefs, like everything to do with the brand. And then the utility layer is the hands of Claude, right? Operational engine, like what can it do? Like where can it connect to? Like can it connect to Ocean, for example? Can it connect to your mail, for example? Once you connect all these different aspects to it, Claude can be a very powerful engine where it just works in the background and you can program it and then it can do things for you, right? So we'll cover the project context vault, right? So what a project is and what a project isn't. So it's this is the workspace that loads your business context automatically at every start of your conversation. You don't have to rebrief it, and you don't have any context drift. So context drift is what I mentioned before, where you have to, tell it everything again. So what a project is, if I tell you the definition of it, it's better to understand what it is so that you can plan. Because a lot of the time when we're working with Claude, we just work with it and we're just like prompting and we're just finding out what's good about it. But a project is like the container of all your instructions and files. It houses everything in there. And you can do it 2 ways. You can either do it through the desktop app, which is quite easy and you can like play around with it, or you can do it on the terminal. But what I find with the terminal, and I'll show you a view of that, is that it's a little bit more versatile. Like you can play around with it, you can code things. It actually, once you get used to the view of it, it's actually not technical. A lot of people are scared about it because they feel as though that the view is very technical. But it has everything in there. And you can house it on your local device, on your laptop. You can have like a desktop that has it. You can call it from the desktop, for example, if you're using a separate laptop. You can even put it in the cloud as well, like in a virtual private server, and then call it through that way. The thing I like about having these devices on is that one, if you are using Claude and you're using Cowork, for example, so Cowork is pretty much just like a project manager that allows you to do things without you being there. It does things with like browser use where it can use the mouse and click things for you, like browse your Instagram, browse your LinkedIn. So with Cowork, you have to leave your device on. If you have it in the cloud, it can run in the background, but then you can run cron jobs or jobs that are scheduled. What I mean by that is like Claude can actually work on a specific time or do it because it's in the cloud, so it doesn't turn off. So that's the only downside to having a project or a Claude instance on your local device is you have to turn your computer on and it will run in the background when it's scheduled. If it's not on, it won't run. Okay, so that's what a project is. So a project is all these things with the persistent containers, shared workspace, IP. What it isn't is a persistent memory database across all chats. It's not that. You still have to give it the memory, you still have to prompt it to understand it. What you can do is you can tie it to note takers like Obsidian, for example, or even a Notion database. And that persistent memory can be in your Notion. Okay, you've got that. And it's not an encrypted vault. It's not an autonomous system. So it responds, it doesn't initiate, but you can get the project to initiate if you run it through cron jobs. Okay. And then the last thing here is garbage in, garbage out. Okay. So this is a typical project folder structure. So if you look on the left, I'll show you the terminal view for all this as well, and a bit of a demo. So what it is you have your first folder. So call it like my business vault. Then you have master context, which is your business overview, right? Missions, offers, markets, and whatever is in there. You've got your soul, right? Your voice, your beliefs, etc. And then you have your other files. So you can have files like offers and pricing, your ideal clients, or your ICP. Your ICP is your ideal client profile. So things like, let's say you're working with a lawyer, for example, and that lawyer has 10 staff, and then 10 staff has this many roles that they've got, so their brand colors. So you can tell, or if you're looking for people, you want people and companies that are very similar to this lawyer firm. That's the ideal of the ICP that you're looking for. You can put the ICP in there. You can put a constraints too. So any limitations, any sort of frameworks as well. So like the Dano framework, the BMM framework, LinkedIn approved proposals, meetings, right? So frameworks are very important. Examples are very important, and utilities are very important. So like any prompt templates that you've had, Claude code, instruction scripts, you can chuck that all into the folder. Okay. So what I would say with the templates is to upload everything that you feel is very relevant to the business, or what is it that you're doing. So you'll upload everything in there. And then what it will do in the project, it will refer to everything in the conversation as well. And there are things that you shouldn't upload. So for example, client contracts, you shouldn't upload. Personal data, you shouldn't upload. So like, for example, John that has, lives on 123 Fake Street, for example, you don't want to put in people's information. And also like API keys, right? So like, for example, your keys that you're using for other connectors, you don't want to do that. Any unpublished financial data, you don't want to put in there as well. Any negotiations that you have or deals that you have on the table, you don't want to put in there. Anything under an NDA or regulatory protection, you don't want to put in Claude code as well. All right, cool. So that's what the master template would look like. Obviously, I will share the slides with you, but if you would like, you can just screenshot this. I'll give you maybe a minute to just screenshot this so that you understand what a master context is. Just give you a minute to do that. Yeah. The screenshot. Oh, right. Yeah. All right. So, hey, who needs a bit more time? No, all good. All right. So I'll just show you. Yep. All right. Sweet. So when it comes to the context value quality check, right? So you'd run these through Claude. So what you want to do is, who do you serve? What is your most important offer and what makes you different? Describing your brand voice in 2 sentences. What you should never promise or claim on your behalf. So for example, like, AI caveats. And then the last one there is what we focus on right now. So like this is very important when it comes to building your context vault, because it allows you to, just structure everything based on your brand. So for example, if you want brand voice to be professional or innovative rather than casual, like you can do that as well. So I'll just show you that in a sec. Yeah, and just to skills as well. So when it comes to skills are very important. So skills, like I said, are like the hands of your Claude projects. So you can program any skill. So if you don't know what to program when it comes to skills, there are a lot of skills out there on GitHub or online. And what I'll show you this as well. Like if you want to look for a skill online that is quite notable as well, look for the stars on GitHub. If the stars on GitHub are over 1,000, it means that a lot of people have used that specific skill for that purpose. So for example, if let's say you can do one of two ways. You can either create your own skill called meeting notes processor, right? And in the meeting notes processor, you can even just go to Claude and like, hey, can you create a skill for me that helps me, create meeting notes for beyond the chat, for example? It will give you everything that you need. It will give you the inputs, it will give you the outputs, it will give you the rules. You can do it that way. Or if you want to be a little bit lazy, there's probably a meetings note processor online already through GitHub. When you go to GitHub, just make sure that the stars are above 1,000 or a really high number. It's like going to a restaurant. If you go to a restaurant and you see 5 stars, but there's only like 5 reviews on that 5 stars, like you probably like, maybe I don't want to go there. But if you see like a restaurant that has like 4.6, but it has like 1,000 reviews on it, you're probably like I actually want to go to that restaurant because 4.6. So it's common sense. But common sense isn't so common. So what happens is that you go to GitHub and you see like maybe the stars aren't really high. You download it and you might be prone to being hacked, or you might, get someone to prompt inject on your Claude project, and you're wondering like, where's this coming from? Why do I keep getting links? Or, this person's already got all my API keys, and like, it's become a nightmare. So one thing to stress, very heavy on being ethical and security. So when it comes to GitHubs, just look at something that's very high rating. That way you know that it's a trusted GitHub repo. Okay. If you don't know what GitHub is, it's like a database. It's a database where people can store skills, they can store different projects, they can store anything that you would want. And it's open source, meaning that people can actually access it, but be very mindful of what you do use as a skill. So with skills, it's a plain MD file. So MD file is a markdown file. A markdown file is pretty much just an instruction, like text document, which tells Claude Code how to do a specific. And the way it's run now, to be honest, ChatGPT was built like this. Is that you load a MD file, and based on the MD file, you then run it anytime. So for example, make me an image of me in the Sahara Desert, with a bottle of water, because bottled water is very expensive in the desert, right? Like if you type something like that, you run that as a skill, and then you give that to Claude or ChatGPT, it will run that same prompt. Whereas before we'd just type the prompt again, we'll copy paste the prompt all the time. Okay. So once that happens, you can then save that skill to your vault, and then you can call it at any time. Just saying /meeting or /skill or /reuse, right? And then the last one is you can just reuse it all the time. So I'm just going to show you a demo. So I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to share my other screen. Okay, so can you see my screen, guys? Just thumbs up.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh, amazing. Cool. So when it comes to the SolMD, so I prepared this firsthand. So in your SolMD, if you can see here, so how you get to VS Code is you just go to VS Code and you just download it. So once you download it, then if you want to install Claude, just go to this plugin here, or you just go Mac, just Command-Shift-X. So this is called extensions. And what you do is you then go to the left here, and then you just go install. Yeah. So yep, can you see that? I don't know if you see that. Can you see the Claude Code? Yep. All right. So once you download that, then you have Claude in your terminal, right? So if you want to get into Claude afterwards, you just go Claude. Yeah, sorry. Let me just get out of it first. So you have it in your folder. So for example, here I have it in marketing agent. Where is my one? Yeah, sorry guys. I think I'm in the wrong one. All right, so if I go Control Command Shift X, right? So if I go to here, you'll see Claude Code for VS Code. Once you've got VS Code, you'll have this, and then you can install, and then you just install it. Once you've installed it, you will have to create a folder. Okay, so what you do is you go open folder, and then you just go new folder, and then you create the folder based on what you want to build. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch of folders. Like for example, for the purpose of this, I created a folder called Claude Workshop Test. Okay, so in Claude Workshop, how you get into Claude. So for example, if I just cancel this, so I'm actually out of it now. It looks a bit technical, but it's actually much easier to navigate than the desktop app. For me personally, you just type in Claude. Once you're here, you've got the dashboard or you've got the terminal. So if you have a look, first things first is you create your SolMD file, right? So I did this already. So your SolMD will have who we are, the founder. So that's me, what we do. So enablement, not implementation. So what I have, AI employees, ongoing containers, what office do I have, who do I serve, flagship cases. So have everything in your brand, your tone, you know, how you sound, etc. Also constraints, like I mentioned, no X, no Y, that construction of limits, because that's a typical AI phrase. Anything to do with AI powered as a lead, we don't want that. So retainers first, etc. So now I have the SolMD file. So I will ask it to, so can you make me a skill to help create proposals for my ideal client? So what it will do, and the reason why I use Opus, you can change models as well. So you can change, so I change models. So it'll just run that, but you can run it simultaneously. Once it's done that, cool design. So I use Opus 5 at the moment because there's a bit of a discount when it comes to using tokens. Just submit that. So it's going to create the skills for me. I'll just show you the models real quickly. Yeah, just give me that. So I'm getting it to create 4 skills for me. Okay, pricing, it should be 1 skill. That's fine. So at the moment you get like a 1 million context within Opus, so it's discounted at the moment. And I've got, you can see how there's like a measurement. So I've got 6% context per day, and then I have usage of 18%, and it resets in 2 hours. So right now it's created a skill for me. Amazing. So it's got that. And you can see how there's like defaults. So you've got Opus 5 with 1 million context, right? You've got best for everyday complex tasks. You've got Fable. So if you are on the max plan at the moment, Fable's included in your max. So you can use Fable for a lot of the hardest and long running tasks. Opus is a little bit better than Fable at the moment. If you just want to use everyday efficient routine tasks, Sonnet's just good enough. Anything for like quick answers, haiku, right? So /model is what you do to change it. So if I just got escape, right? So just go back to the skill right here. Cool. Yeah, so take, all right, detect what you have. I'll grab my Fathom recordings. It'll create a brief from that. It will create the firm name and an audit roadmap. Okay, amazing. Can you build it? And then I'm going to get it to run something called a goal. So if you don't know what a goal is, a goal gives you the ability to run the AI prompt that you've just inputted as a loop, and it won't stop until you actually complete the task. So what tends to happen, and a lot of you may be off-put by this, is when you put in a prompt, it does a prompt, it just keeps asking you, oh, does this look good, Kanji? Or, you know, is this right, Kanji? Or like, is this what you want? And you have to click yes all the time. When you put /goal, it creates the loop in the sense that it will complete the task for you, so that there's less of that yes of the prompts. So what you can do is amazing. Can you build it? I want the proposal intake and draft. to implement with the business. Give me everything and go and improve this without my permission. So it will look at it. Obviously, it will think first, and then based on that, it will then. Yep. So I'll just go okay, allow. So there might be some parts where you say yes to it, but it will actually just run longer than what you would do normally. So like probably by this step here, it would just be like, oh, would you like this to do? Would you like me to access? It will just keep asking you, and it's kind of annoying. So just keep going, yes. Cool, give me what I read, writing the skill now. So it's writing a skill. One thing as well, which I really like about using VS Code is I can create a new terminal and I can create a second Claude instance here, right? So this one's running, right? So I'll let that one run. And then for this one, for example, it's like, you know, can you make me a context file structure for this folder so I can refer you whenever. All right, so you can run like multiple different sessions through the terminal. So here's loading skill. So you see how I have a superpower skill already? So if you go different skills, it's like based on the skills that I've already done. So for example, I've got this Twitter skill where it just posts this Twitter thread based on whatever's viral at the moment for AI tools. And then with this, I'm just gonna go yes to everything. Go Synapse only. And then the superpower one, that's from GitHub. So while that's loading, okay, so this one's coming back with a few things. All right, I'm just going to share my other screen on how to look for GitHub repos. So just, where are we at? Share. Okay, are we back here? Yeah, back here. Let me just go to GitHub. Anyway, so if we go to the main page, so this repository will tell you what skills you can install straight away. So for example, if I go into skills. So this is the official Anthropic skill one. So I'll just type this in the chat. So if you just go copy and I'll just paste it. Paste it for everyone. All right, so that's the main skills GitHub. If I go back to, you can see how the stars is like 166 stars. So it means it's legit, yeah? So what it will do, it will install these skills. So you got front-end design. This is really good in regards to building website or any application UI. Skill creator, which is obviously, you know, it helps build the skill. You've got web app testing. So for example, if you want to create like a mobile app and you want the mobile app terminal to have it. PDF, so it can read PDFs for you. PPT, right? So you can create PowerPoints from there as well. So this GitHub is really, really, really powerful. If you want to find other GitHubs, for example, you can go to, I don't know, Claude skills. You just type in Google and you go to, so there's like a marketplaces that has, you know, Claude skills as well. So skills, okay, you can see find skills. Right, so this one's a really good one as well. So I'll type that into the chat. So there's a lot of cool like aspects, but like just look at the installs and just make sure it's relevant to you. You can just go like, for example, I don't know, like proposal. See if there's anything with proposals in there. Proposal writer, okay. So it's got the skill. It's got 291 stars. So I think this is fine. Like it doesn't have to be over 1,000, but you can see the number of installs and the number of stars. So it means it's, you know, people using it. When it comes to like anything to do with like proposal generation or anything like that, I would like to build my own. And if you're not sure how to build it, like work with Claude, you can just make it like your AI buddy and just work with it. That way, then it's much easier. So I'll just go back to okay. I'll just go back to the terminal or VS Code. Okay, and then just make sure. Okay, you see that? Yep. All right. So first things first. All right, still going yes. That's fine. This one. Okay, so it's created a folder for me, single brand. Here's the structure I built, one root context file with 4 levels. Okay, so it's got a README, Sol, voice, etc. LinkedIn, performance. Yep, yes, build it. Okay, so it will do all that for us. Yeah. And what I like, so once it's built all the sessions and chats and context, see, you can see how it's like building on the left right now. So you got the brand, you got the pipeline, you got the published, you got assets, you got playbooks. What I like to do with this is I like to just ask it to rearrange it. So for example, if you've run a whole bunch of like chats or sessions and you're like, oh, it's kind of messy at the moment, you can just go, hey, can you rearrange this so it looks clean? And then Claude will actually rearrange that for you, which is really cool. So you can go through and so it's got ideas, drafts, right? So it's like pretty much just rearrange my folders for me. So it's got my SolMD in the actual SolMD file in the context vault now on the brand, which is dope. Like now I've got like all that in there. Yep. So just drop the structure clean docs. Yeah. So you can like work with Claude to clean up your folders. So your folders are always on the left, and then that's still running with the skill proposal. Yep. So while that loads, just keep going with the slides. So just the slides again. Okay. Awesome. So what like I mentioned, right? You can use Claude Code as your execution environment. Pretty much you just use the whole terminal and everything that's in there as like your main operational system, and you can replicate this across. So for example, if you have this already built for you and your brand, and you want like all the same folders, but you want it for a business that you're running, or you want to help other people run the business, you can do the exact same thing. You can copy and paste the MD files or copy the whole structure and then move that across. Right. The thing about Claude Code is it's really good in regards to orchestration. So orchestration in the sense of, being a conductor of the orchestra. So like, like manage things, you can direct things, you can move things around, you can be the commander of where things run. So that's the cool thing about Claude Code, which I really like. And why it's important, because now prompts, you can house all your prompts in there. You can house any scripts that you're running. You can pretty much build dashboards from there too, which I find is really helpful. You can build apps from here that go straight to your website or straight online. I'll show you a few things in that regard too. It's really cool in that sense. And when you type in, just Claude and you just describe things in English, it really comes out quite fast. Like, whereas like before you'd have to like type things, you have to go back and forth to ChatGPT, there's like limits and that kind of thing. So the only problem, like I said, it just works locally if you install on a local device. If you install it in a private server, you can run it and you can just like connect with it. But again, like you have to give it things so that you stay in control. But I find that control is quite useful as well, because you then have files that you can manage and you can run and you have complete control over. So that becomes the utility. So you just have to define the inputs, you have to define the outputs, you get it to show the plan to you first. So for example, like a lot of the time I've trained my Claude to be, giving me files or the plan before anything. So there's always the approval section. So when you find that you run your Claude, you probably be like, oh, I actually trust you a little more. Maybe you don't want the approvals, so you can even train it to do that too. And then obviously the SolMD, which is, I think, the most important file that's required for your own utility tool, whether it's Claude Code or Codex or any orchestrator. It's very important to have that SolMD. Okay, so I'll just go back to the demo. So I will show you, just go to the other desktop. So just continue with the demo. So you can have a look here. So first things first, we have built a context vault, and this context vault has everything to do with all our folders being structured properly. Right, so if you have a look here, it's got our brand, pipeline, published, assets, playbooks, right? And everything in here, it's the same. So it's got like obviously one of my clients in there, but it's the only case study. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so you can change this. So like this isn't supposed to be there, so I'll have to change this. But it's rearranged all my folders for me, and it's got everything in that context folder. So anything that I type into here, so like, can you tell me my brand colors? Right, it would just reference everything in this folder right here, which is quite cool, because like before you'd have to go to ChatGPT, go to another chat, just go down, or create like a long chat. So obviously these aren't. So we go, yeah, okay, sure. Can you change this for Synapse AI? It should be from Synapse AI.io. Okay. Okay, so it's doing that. This one is still running. So it's creating our proposal for us. So we'll just let that load. So I'm just going to show you this. If you see this new one here. So this is obviously my command center that I've been managing. It's called the marketing agent. So what I will do is I will get it to create a LinkedIn infographic. So we'll say, what's the topic? Let's do 10 oh no, let's not do that. Let's do 50 Claude prompts. Someone's got to chat. Okay, yeah, AI SEO. All right, sweet. Let's do 50 Claude prompts for SEO. Actually, let's not do that. Let's do skills. Okay, let's do 11 Claude skills for AI SEO. Okay, sweet. So I'll run that. Okay, just gonna run the skill now. Okay, and then I'll just get the other screen up. And I'll do, so put this here, and I will put this. Yeah. Let's do a bit of yeses here, which is fine. Okay. I'm just going to show you all what it's doing on LinkedIn. Okay. So just go through here. Okay, I think you all know Jean. She's from Malaysia, also an AI creator. All right. So with this one, we'll just let it run. But what it will do, it will go into Claude. I will just run this real time. This one up here. And then this one, I'll just. Just move around my screens. All right, so you have obviously these. So just go. Yes. All right, so we have a proposal skill now. Yep. Okay. So if, for example, if I go proposal, just say ABC Ltd. Just going to create a proposal for me now. This one is still going with the brands, so it's updating my brands. Okay, so that's my brand colors, yeah. So I'll show you. So for example, if I go here, so that's my website, my brand colors. You can see here, it's got the orange it's got the black, it's got the purple. Yeah, cool. So it's got the brand colors. Tick. This one here. All right, it's trying to call Fathom. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we'll let that go with Fathom. I will just go pretend it was a transcript. Use as a demo. Yeah, so it's creating a proposal. So I'm running 3 things at once. So at the moment, just to show everyone, we've run the brand colors. We've updated the folders now. Okay, we've updated all these folders now with my brand colors as well as the SolMD. So that's done. This one's running with the proposal. So that's the next thing. Okay, so it's running that. On the right, I have the LinkedIn infographic generator. So it's got here, cool. So it's telling me the skills for AI SEO, SEO audit, programmatic. Okay, so that's all the content. Sweet. Okay, run. I'm just going to run it. All right. If you're not happy about it as well, and the thing I like about you programming Claude to check with you is that you can get it to check, pretty much at a step that you want it to check. So for example, I want it to check before it creates any templates. Otherwise, it'll use my tokens. You can do the checks at a specific point before generation so that you don't waste tokens. Okay, so what's it got now? Okay, so still going. Okay, and that's still going. So just let it run. It did show something before, which is something here we go. Okay, so if I just minimize this, it's actually got a demo input, if you can see that. So you can see how there's like a demo discovery call with someone called Dana Ferraro and Marcus from Geelong, Victoria. We've just basically created roleplay demo, yeah? So then based on this, it's going to create a proposal for me. Okay, so it's going to do that. All right, so it's drafting the proposal now. So it's done with the ICP. Okay, it's done the prospect brief, which is based on the demo transcript that they've created. Now we've got an offer. So the offer is build fees of 6,800, and we have a monthly based on my, offer, 1,500 for support. Okay, so it's just going through here. Yep. And then you can see on the right-hand side, like it's just calling Higgsfield. So Higgsfield obviously helps with the GPT-2 and the Nano Banana picture generation. So you're going to see a really cool infographic come up in a bit. And then here it's running a self-check against the pages. Okay, so it's done 2 fixes. So the cool thing about the terminal and through Claude Code running it through this command is that you can see things on one screen, and it does everything on one screen. If you use the desktop app, for example, right, it's not as intuitive. You would have to go through the local marketing, and it's just stuck on one view. You can't have multiple different ones. And again, it's quite limited in the fact that you can't, use multiple ones. You'd have to go through each chat to do each thing, right? Your routines as well. But yeah, I prefer this view. It looks a bit technical, but once you get a hang of it, you can make this your go-to operating system. Okay, so it's doing that. It's running this. And I'll show you an example, right? So I haven't released this to the public yet, but this is actually what I've built through Claude. So I actually built this alongside with Codex to create pretty much a content library, right? So it's a content library that tells you what content pieces go viral, right? So I'll just use my test account. So I'll just give you an example. Let's go sign in. So for example, you can get Claude to create amazing UI like this, right? So for example, if I go to profiles, right? So what it does, it goes through each profile and it captures like the posts that go viral and then like how much engagement each post has. So for example, here, like you can see my LinkedIn, it's got like, 4.7 as an outlier. All the posts that have gone viral for me or like, have done really well for me, I can use them as my content library. And what I can do is I can then create a new post based on that. And then it can create it based on a specific problem. So this is something I actually built through Claude and Codex. But yeah, you can create amazing things like this if you have the patience for it. So it's still going. Yeah, it's still loading. Okay, this one, what's it say? Okay, so the proposal one is done. So let's have a look here. Okay, I will have a look for proposal. Okay, so I'll have a look at my desktop. Okay, let's bring it up here. Proposal. Demo. So demo ABC. Found it. Okay, so let's create a proposal template for ABC convincing. Okay, so it's gone through that demo chat that we've had, and then it goes through each portion, right? Okay, it's got section 32. So I want to create a follow-up agent with it. Some mapping, building, go live, enable. So proof, we've done this before. That's the price, quote. Approve this and we'll kick off. Amazing. This is exactly the same process. I'll just like kick off with someone. But yeah, pretty much it's done like a whole proposal for me. Yeah. Based on my SolMD, based on like everything, like my offer. Just need to change that, obviously. But yeah, there's a little bit of tweaking, but it can run this like you just go /proposal. I just go /proposal. Right, that's a new skill I have, and I can just run that proposal and I say for 1, 2, 3 ABC PT PTE LTD, right, whatever, right? So that's how you create skills, and that's why skills are very useful. So that's for the proposal. So we've done the brand, we've updated the folders, we've updated the brand, based on that we have created our proposal one. I will probably, if I were to, improve this, I would make sure it's my brand colors. So I will update that. And then for this one, we're waiting for so right now it's created the AI SEO skills as a carousel or, the skills for the caption. It's created a plan for created a plan for what the graphic will look like, and then now it's planning it now. So just wait for this to run. I will just complete the slideshows. We'll just go. So yeah, I would say in regards to implementation, right? One thing I really want to stress when you come to workshops like this or masterclasses is to really implement. Right. So it's cool to get all this knowledge. It's cool to look at all the AI tools. But that's also one thing I find with AI at the moment is that there's so much overwhelm with so many things and so many, aspects to look at. Right. So I think a really good way for you to just really take away something for yourself, especially when it comes to Claude, is first things first, download VS Code. Right. Download VS Code, install Claude Code, or install Claude through there, then start creating your SolMD and your context vault, right? If you're not sure, you can reference why did it go there? Yeah, right. I see. Okay. So it's actually come up with a draft, which is cool. That's why it shifted. That's okay. But create your context vault, create your SolMD. Then based on the SolMD, start thinking on ways on your utility. Right? So how will you create a proposal generator? Like, do you want it to connect to your email so that you can have an email inbox, reader or someone that can sort out emails for you? use this as an orchestrator or use this as your terminal or dashboard. If you wanted to create, I don't know, a lot of these, I see all these demos on Instagram where there's like a command center. Maybe you want to create something cool like a command center so you can orchestrate things from the command center rather than through here because it's very technical for you. So build a utility based on your business or based on what is it that you want to achieve with it. And then from there, then you decide, you know, what's good, what's not good, you review it, okay? So I'll just show, it's done generating. So I will show you what it's come up with. So that's the, for the infographic. So thanks Tech for the topic suggestions. So 11 skills for AI SEO, ranking on Google no longer means getting excited by AI. The Claude stack that closes the gap. So this is based off my brand style for the infographics, right? So then what I do is I will then go back to the desktop 2. Yep, cool. So it says here, around 11 skills, etc. So I'm going to post it, right? So what I'll do, it'll go here and it'll start posting. So just leave it there. The cool thing about Claude Code is that you'll start seeing it like move the browser. So Claude in Chrome wants to create a browser window and read your tabs. Allow. Okay, so you can see here it's going to Chrome, allow all actions. Okay. So you can see the mouse cursor. How cool is that? So for example, if I really wanted to like fully automate this, because the reason why I haven't yet, I want to just check the output before I do that. But I could just run this on like, let's say 5 p.m. Australia time every day. So it just does it. You just choose a topic for me. So it's gonna repost. Yeah. Awesome. So what I'll do, I think there is a little bit of a stop here. Let's see if it will stop there or continue. So what might happen is it might go, oh, can you please upload the image for me? Yep. So it says here, click the icon in Composer and select, boom, hit post. Okay. So it's asking me to, where is it? I don't see it. Okay, where is the? Shit. Okay, maybe close that. That's why. Okay, recents. Yeah, this one. That's the one, right? Go next. And then, yeah, just go post. But pretty much it's done like 80% of the work. But yeah, I will. You see this on LinkedIn now? You see that? How cool is that? Okay, it's got everything. It looks really cool. This could have been done a little bit better. Like could have been like dot points, but I think just for the purpose of this demo, I think we've done a really good job. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I do have one final slide. I'll just go here. Yeah, it's just how to connect with me. Yeah, that's pretty much it, BK.
Okay, sounds cool. Thank you, Kanji. Thank you. So we maybe have a couple of minutes of any Q&A. We leave for 3 questions from the floor. Anyone have any questions can unmute and ask questions. It's a little bit heavy, Sunday morning. Okay, anyone have any questions? Ayat? Unmute, please. No question. Or even comment or how you felt. Yeah.
I don't know how other people feel, but I feel a little bit overwhelmed. Probably because I think some of the terminologies and okay, so let me take one step back. I think when I go to a Claude website class, and then this is what I learned: copy this, paste this, and I have no clue. And then the other, and then it has an output that we have. But if you ask me, I think that's not what learning is about. And I think where you have shown us is there is this power behind the whole system of actually having our persona or soul or your SolMD or so to put it inside so that it can have an understanding of us to do work that's consistent, professional, and at the same deliver to our clients. I think what I probably, because of my lack of knowledge, if I want to take a few steps back, where would be the point of reference that I should go into to just start from scratch? Other than copy paste, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. So I would say the first things first is Claude actually does have some free courses. So start with their fundamental course, right? So I'll just set it up for everyone. So there is some learning. So if you're not sure, like I'll just chuck it in the chat. Always start here. So that's the official Claude 101 and the Claude Code 101 courses. So if you go in there, you would understand how to structure things and what to do first. So first things first, like everyone's different. Like I personally, like I learn by doing. You may be learning through watching something, other people may be, listening and then doing. But I find, especially with AI, the best way to implement is to work with it, to use it. Right? Because like for example, I could give you this official Anthropic course, right? You might watch it, but then you're not doing anything with it. Yeah. So to be honest, I would start here to understand the fundamentals. If you don't like that way of learning, the next way would be to actually ask Claude. Like ask Claude, like I'm stuck with, I learned all this thing from Kanji's workshop. I'm overwhelmed today. Like, where's the first place that I start? Claude might say something different based on what history it's had with you to someone else.
Yeah.
Right? So it might be that, it'd be like, okay, like start downloading these inputs first, or start downloading these, the VS Code, start, getting Claude Code in, playing around with it, type in this prompt, and you just follow step by step. Right? For someone else, it could be go and watch this video because you need this video first, and this, like, it could be vary depending on the person.
Yeah,
right? But
fundamentals are important, I feel. And
that's what I'm saying. Yes.
That sort of forms the pillar of scaling up your learning, right?
100%.
What I appreciate, I guess, is what you have identified as the implementation plan. It gives me an idea of the first step, do this. The second step is go ahead and do this. It maybe you say day one or I probably maybe do 2 days to do this, because I probably have to reflect it much deeper, but I'd like the process. Thank you so much.
No worries. No worries. Thank you for the feedback.
So I think back to the basic is all of us learn differently. Okay, Kanji may say he learned by doing, some learn by watching, some learn by both doing and watching. So I think basic is important. So Kanji has given the link for the basic. There are many basic content out there for you to access to it, depending how eager you want to learn. Okay, Kanji way may be giving you an overview that, okay, if you go moving forward, you can get this, and then you can go back and sort of do your basic again. So for me, I'm a little bit like Kanji. So I learn and do at the same time. It's just like when I read a book, I would just flip the entire book without reading it first. I may end up reading the last chapter and then go back, and I may end up just reading the last and the first, and I basically more or less know what I want to read, So, but there are people who say, "Oh no, I must read." From the beginning, I must read the content and then go before I go to the end. Yeah, it's all. But okay, so one last thing is, just based on this conversation, you may not have time to go through the basics sometime. Just jump and go, and then later on, oh wow, it works, and then you can go back and understand the basic, because basic can be very dry. I'm sure Kenji and I, we basically skip basic because it's really dry.
100%.
It's not as tasteful, it's not as sweet, and you don't see the result. So we do what I call trial and error, 70% maybe, 30% basic. Yeah, but once you understand one AI process, which is why I think we've gone through the very more difficult basic than today. So if there's someone start learning today, they probably would not have ChatGPT basic. They don't need anymore. It's irrelevant. They just go there and just follow the instructions. So Claude inside there, just like be a person, press this, do this, press this, do this. End up you got no basic, but you actually, you fly a plane already. Yeah. Okay, thank you. We take two more question. Anybody or sharing, takeaway or something? Two more. Anybody? Clarence, I saw you unmute. So have you decided to fire a boss or what?
No. Yeah, maybe one thing. I mean, Kanji, thank you for your time today. Really appreciate that. What you're showing is really, really amazing. Just one thing. Like, what's the main difference between VS Code terminal versus the desktop app? If you want to do this thing.
Yeah. So I feel it's more preference, but you can achieve a lot more with the desktop. With the terminal. So like for me, I like working like 10 tasks, and you've got like few running in the background, and then I'm working maybe one or two that's in front of me on one screen. And even before I had this screen, like my second screen, I would always have things working in the background, and then I'm just working on things, and then I just flip different things. With the desktop app, you don't have that ability. Desktop app, you don't have that full view, and you just have to keep going through chats, and it's not as intuitive when it comes to being user friendly. It's super user friendly. Don't get me wrong. It's like it's very easy to use, and you can see it all. But the thing is that you don't get to see all your project files on the left. You don't know what goes where. It's quite restrictive compared to terminal.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Try it out one day. Thanks.
Yeah, and don't be disheartened by the view of the terminal, because I find that once you get used to it, you can unlock like it's going to the gym. It's like if you're at the gym, you're doing like like 20K bench press, and then suddenly like you try a 40K one, and you're like, hey, that's actually not too bad. I've done the first rep. Right, and then you go up, and you're like, oh, actually that's not too bad, and you start doing that more. It's kind of the same with the terminal. Once you play around with the terminal a bit, you get used to it. You can go from beginner to advanced real quickly. Right? With desktop app, you're still beginner, but like it's like progressive. But with the terminal, you can jump to advanced because you understand where things are, and you start learning things quicker.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. One last question from the floor. Anyone? I guess they're all like in shock. Okay, I think I'm not going to force it. We sort of overrun a little bit, and it's lunchtime anyway. So thank you so much. The recording, I will discuss with Kanji whether we will share it, but more likely we will share some kind of a content. Okay. So thanks again to Kanji, and thanks everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. If you have further question after this post Zoom, you can also send it me, and I'll forward to Kanji. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, nice seeing you, everyone.
See you.
Cheers.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.